Okay, welcome all to the village board meeting, 5:30 Monday, August 19th, 2024. We'll have a roll call of officers. Open meeting law compliance check. Joe, please stand for a pledge of allegiance in a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. No public input. Okay. Make a motion to approve the minutes, special village board, December 27th, 2023.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And we jump right into new business.
So the paper copy of the resolution that is on.
Should I introduce it first? Should I introduce it first?
Yes.
I'd like to introduce and approve resolution number 06-24, resolution of the village board exercising referendum options.
You're on. So the burden that you have papers of is been slightly modified after consulting the DOR. It's just basically added a decimal place to the net new construction, and I had the incorrect number for the personal property taxes. So this has been improved by the DOR as it is on the paper. So this is, I'm sure, DOR has reviewed it and approved it.
Okay, any discussion on this?
Was there a motion?
No, we should talk about it. I guess.
Can you talk to us? As if I don't see anything in here that we haven't talked previously about. It pretty much falls in line with what we discussed as the levy increase.
The question, as it will be on the ballot, is not up to us. It is statutorily dictated how it's worded.
Right.
So that's what the DOR had to review.
Okay, that's what's in the quotes.
Correct. That
Okay.
is the exact wording that will be on the ballot.
Then I make the motion that the board approve resolution 06-24, resolution of village board exercising referendum options. I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any other discussion on this? Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Eight B, approve We Energies easement for elevator lane.
Well, We Energy, they're upgrading their power and elevator main and tying some systems together. And they need an easement where we have gravel or shoulder of the road where the wires are gonna be going in.
My only comments, I contacted the right of way agent We Energies, because they oftentimes will include, those, if it's underground, they'll just include above ground fixtures, pedestals and stuff, and I just asked her to remove anything referencing above ground. And then she did modify it, so the most recent agreement covers just underground utility.
And that's the paper copy thing.
Isn't that all curving?
Huh?
That all curving?
That where they're gonna go behind it for me.
Oh,
It's gonna be in a grass area.
oh, they're not coming.
No. And mainly more of it's gonna be up where the grass, where the blacktop ends, where the perfect camps.
So is this a brand new easement?
Yeah.
Or is it an extension?
Not be a brand new one because. The other power was in there since 1998, so I don't know if they had a easement,
Didn't have any.
maybe they did, I don't know. But it's not gonna go in the same area.
So is this going down elevator lane? Through the migrant?
Well, it's gonna be on the west side. Of elevator main. Probably gonna go, there's a pedestal way up by Donnie Miller in there. They're gonna connect up to some houses behind, where they have easements too already. Or that's phase one something.
Okay.
So how come they're doing this?
Just to loop everything, I mean, you want more power. Is there another problem that they can go switch? Different areas where you get,
And this is just We Energies wanting to do it, right?
yeah. I mean, they're doing work out on Silver Beach Road, it's just. You know, they're trying to get 3-phase all the way up to KW right now, and stop for the treatment, plant, so. But it's all overhead, so,
And this is gonna be underground.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve the energy easement for elevator lane.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Okay, eight C. Park and Recreation recommendation to discuss logo for final pickleball court.
The staff meeting, we briefly talked about the fact that we have 3 out of 4 pickleball courts sold. And the suggestion came up that maybe we should put the village on the 4th one. So it was brought to Park and Rec, and they asked us to put it on the agenda to discuss, because there was possibly some other things that were gonna be looked into. And I would throw to Chris.
Yeah, the ones I looked into are no interest at this time.
So basically, the question is, do you want to leave it just blank, or do we want to put our logo on it?
And we have to come up with a decision fairly quickly, I
Yeah,
understand.
we need to make a decision tonight,
Yeah.
because they need to get the files and get them going. It'll probably cost about $1,500 if we put
1,500, 2,000.
15 to 2,000.
I propose putting the village logo on.
I got one question about that.
Yeah,
I got one question about that. The village is paying for those whole damn projects,
Right.
200 and some $1,000.
Yeah.
How much more are we gonna stick into that? Everybody knows it's village development. To me, that's just wasting money.
well, I'm trying to imagine in my mind how the courts are gonna be set up. How glaring will it be if there's a vacancy in?
But right now, where the logos are gonna go, they're probably go in the kitchen area of the pickleball court, if you know
Oh,
where the
okay,
kitchen area is.
Mhm.
someplace in that area. So that one court won't have nothing. Now,
Okay,
obviously, they're gonna be, you're gonna notice it, but you ain't gonna notice it from the road or when you drive by there.
Right.
What's,
Just when you play on it.
what's the size of the logo? 5 by 10 or? I mean-
We sent some in already from the banks. Right
Yeah.
here. They didn't say no size in them, don't they?
No, they showed the number of squares.
Oh,
Let me see if I have it.
They're 12, those are 12 by 12 squares, right?
10 by
Not a 10.
10 by 10?
Dan was asking if they were definite no-goes for the other.
Man, that document is invalid.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, here. So this is Duisburg State Bank, so it looks like it's 3 tiles by
10.
10, 3 by 10. I think Fort Banks was different though.
So 3 by 10, that's only 30 by 100, huh?
Whatever, man.
3 feet and a half. 30 by 100 in those.
Okay.
I think the, Fort one isn't showing up here for whatever reason, but hold on, I can get it.
Well, if you're looking, I mean, as per last meeting, I had the same question Pete had, right? Like, the village already funded a lot of this park. We did have donations from other social
Let
groups.
the board know, we started digging, the asphalt today and we got about 14 inches of asphalt in there that we're pulling out, so that means we gotta bring a lot of filament, so that means there's been extra costs.
Between
Just leave it blank and whoever wants to get on there next year, you're after the nick of that.
Right.
That's
Well, so Kevin, I know you weren't at the last one, but that's what kind of what came up is if we do it now before it's installed, it would cost the village like $1,500 to $2,000. Or it would cost a donator, for someone who's donating, what was the cost of 10, right? So,
Well, if you wanted to sponsor it for it, you put $10,000
Right.
and that's your court, and you have that all the time, so when it's faded. Assuming the village will have to cover that cost to get it back and everything.
so
So,
if we do it now, it's 1,500 to 2,000. If we wait, or if anyone waits, then it's considerable.
Probably 2,500.
Yes.
so the
So-
front and Janvier one, it looks like is 5 by 10.
So my question is whether they do it like, let's say. We leave it empty now. And then, like you said, next year, somebody's like, hey, we should blah, blah, blah. Is the cost of what it's gonna cost today, not our cost, but anybody who wants to sponsor it?
Well.
Is it gonna cost the same thing as what it would
Probably
cost
cost
a year?
more because.
Gotta pull it out.
It's gonna be painted the color of the court.
Right.
So when you know, when they're
Right.
donating it, they're gonna have their logo and they're gonna have to paint that. They're gonna have to come in here.
Right,
So it's gonna cost more.
right,
The way I understand it is they don't paint it there. In order to
right,
change or add a logo later,
Pull it
they
out.
have to
Pull it
paint
out.
those tiles, manufacture new ones
Right.
and bring them in and replace them.
Right.
I mean, I still think, to me. Not a big deal if it's empty and let someone see it and be like, hey, I wanna do that. So if it costs them 15 grand, cause they didn't get on the bandwagon and they should have got it when they could get it for 10. I mean, that's kind of on them. Right? Anyone?
Yeah, we just.
Anyone?
I was of the same opinion last meeting, right? I don't know why the village is gonna put a
Yeah.
logo on it.
Yeah.
Spend more money.
I know, I think we should just leave it blank. I don't think we need to put, the village needs to put 2 grand into it.
I'm gonna say this, I agree.
What? Put 2 grand on that in paper.
Right?
Put 2 grand in film. Better put that one down.
So does this need a motion officially?
You should.
Yes or
make a
no?
motion.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion to recommend that we do
No,
not.
you're not.
Oh, I'm just making a motion to not put the Village of Belgium in the pickleball court.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 8D, approve new rules and regulations for use of village facilities by nonprofit groups per to Park and Recreation Committee recommendation to change wording to verify private versus public event.
So it came to our attention recently that there have been a few nonprofit groups that have reserved and used the parks for what appear to be more private events such as a wedding and a birthday party and different events like that, which, you know, I don't think was really the intention when we did this. So it was brought up to be discussed and the committee did recommend that we change it to make it clearer the difference between a public community event versus a private event. So I took our existing rules and regulations and updated it. The part in red is the changes that I'm recommending. So basically, a nonprofit can reserve a park for a community event that's open to the public. Anyone else, if they're requesting,
It's the back page.
requesting the park would be a reservation if it's for a more.
They have to pay. Right. Because the point of it is that they're not paying right now, but they're holding specific events,
Right.
Family events there.
family events there.
What's it called? Rent?
$100.
Well, then I make a motion to approve the new rules and regulations for use of the facility by nonprofit groups per Park and Recreation Committee recommendation.
I'll second.
One point on the language, you want to limit that just to licensed nonprofit groups, or, you know, again, there's nonprofit entities out there, some are licensed, some are not. Do you want to be very clear on that? These are certain organizations or?
I think any nonprofit that considers themselves a nonprofit, whether they're licensed or not, right? Or should we?
Well, I
make it
think that's where you get
licensed?
into that area you might be trying to avoid, that, you know, you got a group of people that were not for profit, but we got this cause that we're trying to do here.
Well, so I'll give you a couple of examples that have recently come up. There's a group that it's like a private club, I think, sort of, that has been using it once a year. And they are definitely not an official organization. It's a club. I mean, I'm sure it's an official club, but they're not, you know, they don't have any designation or paperwork.
Sure.
Well, to my mind, a nonprofit is something that advances some social good or some, you know, it has a positive agenda as opposed to, gee, let's just hang out and eat pizza.
So one other example, though, something that came up recently was there was somebody who was wanting to hold in a park, open book club meeting, basically, to anyone who wanted to come. And they were perfectly fine just using it without reserving it, which they can do also, but they asked if they could hold it for that event. So, you know, I did go ahead and let them use it.
Sure.
Because I didn't figure it mattered. It was open, it was clearly open to the public, so.
Right.
To me, that's a more important, but yeah, I mean, it's really, it's your call whether you want, I mean. How do we determine legality of a nonprofit, Brad, if we
They,
put that
you
in?
can show their certificate from the state of Wisconsin that they're licensed profit organization or charter organization.
So would simply putting any licensed nonprofit in there clarify that?
Well, like, I bring up like Holy Cross Church, all for instance, uses it for their church picnic, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're considered a nonprofit, do they have a base? Probably not.
Yeah, most churches do. They
Yeah,
follow-
I know.
Yeah, usually religion.
Yeah, and that was all set up for organizations, they could use it at any time at no cost there.
Well, and that's a good question. So does that constitute a community event open to the
Right.
public? Or is
Well,
that?
anybody can go to that church picnic.
Do you think
I'm-
putting licensed is the right way to go, Brett?
Again, I think it's what the intent is, what you're trying to limit it to. I mean, I think if you put a standard such as licensed organization, you know, a nonprofit organization, you know, I think that's going to eliminate some groups such as saying,
Right,
we're just,
some groups that are saying
We
we're
have a
not
cause,
profit,
Right.
but we're holding this event and then they have to work free. So I think you're right, and by saying licensed, and then they have to prove some sort of license
Considered none.
to be like, okay, well, you're not really a nonprofit, so you have to take the park.
So I'm okay with adding the wording about it. I think the main rub here though was private versus public event,
Correct.
right? I mean, regardless if you're a private homeowner or a
Right.
authorized not-for-profit, right? I
Right.
think the language we were trying to fix was, is this for a publicly held event that's open to the community, or is it a
Right.
private event being held by
Right,
whatever organization or
right. But
club
then you
you're
also
part
get
of?
into the wishy-washy stuff of like, well, if they're deciding that they're gonna hold a wedding there, well, yeah, everybody can come. I mean,
Crazy wedding.
Right.
As long as it's a great park.
Right.
As long as it's open.
Only caution, and granted, anybody can, if they come in and they're now licensed nonprofit, they could petition. Ask for the
Sure.
board's approval.
Right.
After the fact.
right,
But you know, we do have things like, I'll give example, the block parties that are being done this year. The people who are signing the forms for the park are not a legal nonprofit. They're
Got
not
it.
just
the block party
the
captain,
captains.
right,
So, you know, that would then be a problem area where we would have to come to the board.
But they're
So-
signing under the chamber, right?
Huh?
Under the direction of the
Well, the
chamber.
chamber's organizing, but the chamber chose not to
Right.
reserve the parks for
Right.
it. They wanted the captains to do it. So the captains are the ones who did the reservation. And well, the chamber doesn't want the liability. And I don't know, I'm shocked that the homeowners are willing to take it, but.
Right.
So then are we charging for use then? If it's not
No.
going under the chamber, if it's a
No,
private
but
person?
No, there, because
That's a
at the
public
time,
event.
that was considered it's a community. event.
grandfathered in.
They still have to sign a user agreement,
Yeah.
to
Right.
be responsible for cleaning up and doing
well,
whatever.
I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but as far as the block parties goes for this year, it was already signed under the notion that it was what it
Well,
was,
can,
so.
can we, Brad, can we goose the language a little bit to say, for registered nonprofits or community sanctioned events, something
Does that-
along that line?
I guess that. What would you think about leaving the wording I have in here, but then making a separate motion to give Teresa and I the discretion to evaluate these?
I like
Yeah,
that,
fine with me.
I like that,
So we can
Yeah.
kind of monitor it.
and then you can bring to the board what you say.
Right, if there's something that you feel doesn't fit the
Qualify.
spirit of the
Yeah.
rule, then we would say, okay, we're gonna have to put this on the board agenda.
I
think
like
you're
the
right.
discretion idea.
I like that too. I trust your judgment.
So then I would just recommend two motions, one to approve the existing
Okay,
amendments and then make a separate motion.
do we
to-
wanna put in license nonprofit?
You know, if, I guess I would say let's not, because then if we have something a little more like the block parties, which
Okay.
fits the spirit of the
Yeah.
rule, we can go ahead and approve it, but, you know.
Okay, I think the spirit of the change is more about the public versus private, not necessarily
Right.
what kind of organization you are.
Right, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the wording that you have. Along, can I make two motions in one?
I was thinking one.
Do one.
You want, okay, that's what I
Because
have.
it's big notice.
Yeah, okay, so I'll make a motion to keep the wording how you had it in this new wording.
Just say, I make a motion to approve the amended.
Where are our sheets? I make a motion to approve the amended wording for our nonprofit group.
I'll second whatever motion she's making.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed, motion passes.
And then we have to now make the motion to allow Vicky and Teresa to.
Mhm.
Well, you can just give direction on that. It wouldn't be a motion.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Thank you. That's what I needed to know. Thank God. I need my sheet back.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All-
did we vote on the motion that we had previously?
I think we did.
Did, Sarah. Pick out.
Did we
Oh,
not?
yeah. Yeah, picture your finger.
I think we did.
I think we did.
No,
we do?
We
Oh, yeah.
made a motion and seconded on the wording.
You know what voted.
Oh,
Oh, we have to
So-
Here we voted.
Okay, see, I was confused about this. We don't need to worry about your motion because Commissioner Rose already made the motion to approve it as is, but you
Got it.
never voted on it.
Got it.
Oh, so
Retracted
confused.
my motion to adjourn.
Well, no, I think you can actually put your motion to adjourn back.
You do need to vote on
Okay.
the original motion by Rose and Chris
Got
to approve the amended
Wording.
rules and regulations.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Ay, ay, ay.
It's right.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.